All right, let's talk about it. Today, we're breaking down 5 really common self-pleasure habits that, while they might feel great in the moment, could be having an unintended ripple effect on your sex life with a partner. So, could your solo routine actually be affecting your sex life? It's a really good question, right? We're going to explore how some of those private habits can sometimes create patterns that, well, they just don't always translate so well when you've got a partner in the picture. But hang on, before we go any further, let's get one thing crystal clear. This is a total shame-free zone. Seriously. As urologist Dr. Rena Malik puts it, masturbation is absolutely healthy and a completely normal part of sexuality. It's a fantastic way to learn about your own body. Our goal here isn't to judge at all, but to understand and maybe, just maybe, make a few little tweaks for an even better sex life overall. Okay, first up, habit number 1 is all about technique. Specifically, a technique that might be creating a level of intensity that's kind of tough for a partner to replicate. It's often called the death grip. And yeah, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. A super, super tight grip, often paired with really fast motion. And, this isn't just about your grip. It can also apply to other high-intensity methods, like using hard surfaces or really powerful vibrations. So what's actually going on here in your body? Well, it's a concept called habituation. Your body is incredibly smart and adaptable. So if you consistently use that same intense stimulation, your nerves can actually get used to it, becoming less sensitive over time. This kicks off a cycle where you end up needing to go even harder or faster just to get that same feeling of pleasure. The solution here really boils down to one word: variety. You've got to consciously mix things up. Try loosening your grip. Add some lube. It really helps. And just slow down. You might be totally surprised to find that exploring different kinds of sensations, even something as simple as a light touch, can open up a whole new world. Okay, let's move on to our second habit. This one is less about the physical stuff and more about what's going on in your head. We're calling this the arousal rut. It's that thing where you become really reliant on one very specific trigger to get aroused. Maybe it's a particular fantasy or a specific type of porn. The potential problem is that your brain can get trained to respond only to that one thing, which makes it a lot harder to get turned on by a real-life partner who, well, can't perfectly replicate it. And this can unfortunately lead to a pretty vicious anxiety cycle. It goes like this. You rely on your usual intense stimulus, then real-life arousal feels kind of underwhelming. That causes stress about your performance to build up, and as we all know, anxiety is a total pleasure killer. And when things don't go well, the stress builds for the next time, and the cycle just gets stronger. So, how do you break out of the rut? You guessed it. Change it up. Challenge your brain to find new pathways to pleasure. Try out a new fantasy. Explore a different kind of erotic story. Or even better, bring your partner into the mix. Sharing fantasies or even watching porn together can be a great way to bridge the gap between your solo world and your shared one. All right, habit number 3. This one's super practical and, thank goodness, really easy to fix. We are talking about lubricants. The problem is simple. Going without lube creates a lot of friction, which can actually decrease your sensitivity over time. Plus, it's such an easy step that makes a huge difference in simulating what partnered sex actually feels like. Here's a quick little guide. Water-based is the most common, but fair warning, you might need to reapply it. Silicone-based lasts way, way longer, so a little bit goes a long way. And hey, oil-based options like coconut or even olive oil can totally work. It really just comes down to what you prefer. But, and this is a big one, please avoid using stuff like Vaseline or your regular body lotion. They just are not designed for your genitals and can cause some pretty serious irritation. Stick to products that are meant for the job. Okay, let's look at habit number 4, and this one is all about timing. Are you maybe always in a bit of a rush to get to the finish line? So many of us develop this quickie habit when we're younger, and for obvious reasons, right? You don't want to get caught. So it just becomes this learned behavior to finish as fast as you possibly can. The thing is, you might be unintentionally training your body for a rapid-fire finish, and that pattern, it can carry right over into partnered sex, sometimes leading to finishing a lot sooner than you or your partner might want. The fix here is all about reframing your solo time. Instead of thinking about it as a race, think of it as a training ground. This is your chance to take your time, to explore different sensations, learn about your body's rhythms, and even practice building up your endurance. It's a much more fun way to train. And that brings us to our fifth and final habit. And honestly, this one might be the most powerful of them all. It has nothing to do with technique and everything to do with your mindset. Guilt is just an incredibly potent emotion. If you're associating masturbation with feelings of shame or negativity, it can really start to affect how you view yourself as a sexual person in general. And those feelings, they don't just stay behind when you're alone. They can subconsciously follow you right into the bedroom with a partner, creating this invisible barrier that gets in the way of real pleasure and connection. The key here is to actively work on changing that mindset. Remind yourself what we talked about at the start. This is normal and this is healthy. You are entitled to feel good. You don't need anyone's permission or a certain status in life to deserve pleasure. Embracing self-love is a really powerful act. So if we boil it all down, the key takeaway is pretty simple. Approaching your solo time with mindfulness, with variety, and with a positive guilt-free attitude, that doesn't just improve those moments. It actually builds a stronger foundation for a happier and way more fulfilling sex life with a partner. And that leaves us with a final thought to mull over. What if learning to truly love and explore yourself is actually the very best practice there is for sharing that love with someone else?